Hello everyone and welcome back to my Bold and Beautiful 29 YouTube channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. We open with Thomas asking, yet again, if Hope will be his woman. Formerly again, she does the whole "you know how I feel about you, and you know how I feel about you" cotillion. But, he concludes, "You're not ready to marry me." He admits he knew she'd reject him yet again. "You'll no way be suitable to marry me, and that's why I've moved on with Paris." Thomas tells Hope that he could gather the family and snare Carter to perform the form, and her answer would still be no. And while that broke his heart ahead, he's now in love with Paris. "My heart is whole," he says. "You and I'll always be there for each other. Douglas connects us ever. But I've moved on. I've set up my person, with Paris. And you'll find your person, too." Thomas goes on to say he's happy and knows she'll find happiness, too. Ever, the show resists the appetite to incontinently cut to a scene featuring Finn. Outside, Paris is still reeling about the fact that Thomas asked Eric if they could get married at the manse. Brooke asks when the marriage might be, and Paris says she's not exactly sure, but hopes it'll be soon. "Trust us, Paris, on this show? You'll either get wedded coming week or go directly to the back burner until you break up, a la Katie and Carter. She can't stay to be Thomas' woman." Ridge says there's a lot to celebrate, and the three of them bandy the giant in the room Hope and her moping passions for Paris Joe. Speaking of which, Paris decides she should go and find her husband-to-be. Lee swings by Finn's office, surprised to see him. She allowed. He break with the family, but he shares that he's on call and had to drop in for an emergency. "However, it's you," he tells his mama, "if anyone can understand this insane schedule." She does, but also knows that after everything that's happened in recent months, read Sheila. He needs to spend as important time as possible with his woman. And kitties. Lee reminds Finn that while Sheila may be his, say it with us, natural mama, she's also a eminence to society in general and his family in particular. "Sheila doesn't earn your love and sympathy," Lee insists. "You need to prioritize your woman. And kitties. They must always come first." Finn swears that he's got his precedences in order, and that he's cut Sheila out of his life, and I am serious this time. Lee warns that if he's not careful, Sheila will be the death of his marriage. Lee asks Finn if Hope is still close to that father of hers. She points out that Deacon must have a screw loose to be with Sheila. Lee's glad to hear that both Finn and Hope are keeping their separate bad seed parents at arm's length. Lee is, still, unhappy about the influence Hope seems to have on her son, pointing out his decision to stay at the Sheila/Deacon marriage. Finn reminds his mama he was only there to get food, because, Illinois Giardino's the only eatery in Los Angeles, and he regrets having stayed. Lee says staying was foolish, dangerous, and discourteous to Steffy. "Not only do you need to stay down from Sheila, you need to stay down from Hope," Lee says, adding that she's only saying this out of love. Alone together, Ridge and Brooke blow off the idea of going down to the pool with the others in favor of going home and skinny dipping. Of course, they soon talking about Hope again and the fact that she refused to marry Thomas, and therefore, the relationship has ended. Brooke declares Thomas' relationship a classic answer. Heaven knows she'd know a thing or two about that, but Ridge insists Thomas' passions for Paris are real. As Brooke and Ridge continue agitating Thomas, she admits that Hope has inescapably been herself of late. "She's been each over the place, and I am just bothered she might do commodity," she might lament. Brooke worries that Paris might not be apprehensive of what she's gotten herself into, but Ridge says Thomas has been fully transparent with the youthful woman. "At least Thomas didn't come home with some tramp from Tacoma," says Ridge, and both agree Paris is awful. Brooke has dubieties, but Ridge is his usual, pig-headed tone, refusing to suppose Thomas might be deluding himself. He says there's a man out there nearly for Hope. Paris reunites with Thomas and tells him that she's agitated about getting married at the estate. Paris says everyone's agitated except Hope, who's playing the victim, and I really don't get why. Thomas says that for Hope, it's hard, given that nothing anticipated him to come home with a new lady love and stepmom to Douglas. She had her moment, and she turned you down, says Paris, who's snappily assured by Paris that she's the only one he cares about. He adds that Hope will no doubt find an awful man to spend the rest of her life with. Which of course leads incontinently to Hope hanging out at Forrester Creations and Finn walking by, looking for commodity Steffy forgot. He incontinently senses that commodity is over with Hope. She doesn't want to leave her problems on him, but that's what musketeers are for, he reminds. Finn reminds Hope that she didn't want to marry Thomas, and she points out she was still dealing with her divorce and concentrate on the kiddies at the time. I feel for you, Finn acknowledges, but I don't suppose those are the only reasons. He goes on to low crucial trash talk Thomas, saying he doesn't condemn her for not just forgetting everything he'd done in the history. She suggests Thomas has formerly again acted precipitously without allowing about the consequences. She doesn't want anyone to get hurt, including Douglas, and admits she also thinks Thomas is running from commodity. His passions for you, asks Finn, leaving her to wonder if that sounds conceited. This prompts Finn to list all of Hope's amazing rates. You know how I feel Thomas was no way good enough for you, declares Finn, saying some incredibly lucky man is going to come on and steal her heart. As the music swells and Hope looks at the man standing before her, we fade to black. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers for the week beginning Monday, July 8th says that this is going to be yet another fast-paced bone. With so numerous twists and turns that you wouldn't want to miss a beat. That's because there are going to be some broken hearts, shocking admissions, and so much more. Plus, there will be a kiss that will seal the deal for some. Keep reading below for everything you need to know. According to the rearmost edition of Soap Opera Digest, all the drama kicks off during the Monday, July 8th occasion when Paris gets busy planning her marriage and Thomas takes an redundant step to prove a point to Hope. Moving along for the Tuesday, July 9th occasion, Steffy, Thomas, Paris, and Douglas all partake a family moment together. Also, Brooke tells Hope many effects that she doesn't want to hear, but needs to hear. For the Wednesday, July 10th occasion, Steffy and Finn partake a veritably amorous kiss, which proves that they're both on the same track again. That's substantially because Hope seems to be more fixated on trying to get Thomas back again these days. Poppy and Luna also enjoy some of the gratuities that come with being part of the Spencer family. Let's just say that they aren't complaining at all. What was in Tom's pack? Moving along for the Thursday, July 10th occasion, Tom's things are set up at the Italian eatery, which is egging some people to believe that this was no accident at all. And rounding out the week for the Friday, July 12th occasion, Jack and Lee have some information about the night of Tom's musicale for Finn. Also, Bill gives Luna quite an extraordinary gift while the shocking contents of Tom's pack are revealed. You aren't going to want to miss any of this.